Word had started spreading in Bethlehem that there were Israelis who were interested in talking with us, Israelis who had lost family members like us. So the arrangement was to plan a meeting just to be introduced to each other. I knew this would mean meeting families of victims of suicide bombings, and this would be difficult, but let me tell you something. It's important for them to ask why this happens, and why a person will blow himself up like that. They should know he has a tired soul, and it's not because he's bored with life and has no work or can't find food. One of the bombings that happened was after the guy came back home to find his mother and his fiancée killed. So he blew himself up. It's not a justification for blowing himself up, and I don't agree with it, but the Israelis are the reason for it. My family encouraged me to go to that first meeting. I was a bit hesitant. It was the first time in my life that I met with, sat and listened to an Israeli that was suffering like me. This was the first time I experienced seeing an Israeli emotionally touched by knowing that I had lost someone. And so had he. And he was willing to sit with a Palestinian who felt the same way.
I stood aloof when they arrived. I was detached, completely cut off and cynical and reluctant as usual. And then I saw an amazing spectacle. Something that was completely new to me. I saw Arabs getting off the buses, bereaved Palestinian families, men, women and children coming towards me, greeting me for peace, hugging me and crying with me. And I distinctly remember a respectable elderly woman dressed in black from tip to toe, and on her breast a locket with a picture of a kid about 6 years old.
This is what deepens the idea within us. Knowing that there are people there that believe in our rights to build a country of our own. It's good to see that there are Israelis out there who say no to occupation. I may have once hated everything that was called Jew. I hate Zionism, but I respect anyone who acknowledges my right to my homeland. Anyone who respects my opinion, and anyone who thinks about my future as well as his. The responsibility lies with all of us. No one can stand to live in such circumstances without doing something about it. So I joined the Bereaved Families Forum.
I don't think you'll find many examples in history where bereaved people from both sides of a cancerous, bloody conflict hold out hands to one another. With this one-of-a-kind, rare cooperation, we are brothers in pain, and we, the bereaved families, together from the depths of our mutual pain, are saying to you today, our blood is the same red colour. Our suffering is identical, and all of us have the exact same bitter tears. So if we, who have paid the highest price possible, can carry on a dialogue, then everyone can. This is the message that, together, my Palestinian brother here and myself are putting across.
The Israeli that sits in my house is not my enemy. My enemy is the one that makes decisions that doesn't care about me or even about the Israelis. The decision makers are not affected. It is up to those who are not decision makers to revolt and do something about their lives.
I wish to end on a personal note with a request and a thank you. I am the son of a Holocaust survivor. My father is an Auschwitz graduate. 60 years ago, when my forefathers were sent to the crematoriums in Europe, the free and civilized world stood aloof and did not lift a finger to save them. Today too, 60 years later, while these two mad nations are mercilessly butchering one another, the world again looks the other way and does nothing to put a stop to the killing. And this is a shame. And this is a crime. All I have left is to beseech you not to behave that way. Do not stand aloof. Be involved and concerned, because we are talking about your future as well as ours. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for listening. For me, that is the most important thing of all. If we do not know how to listen to the other's story, we won't be able to understand the source of his pain, and we should not expect the other to understand our pain. Here is where it begins, and here is where it will end.